All right, welcome to a very special episode of All In on Blue. We are going to talk about BYU basketball. Can you believe it's already BYU basketball season?
Oh, man.
Crazy. I'm David, here with Keith, Taylor, and we've got our special guest again, who's not really a guest.
Or special.
Because we love him. He's occasionally special. BJ, our producer from Beehive Broadcast.
Thanks for having me on. And I am hyped for BYU basketball.
Good. So am I.
Man.
After that blue and white game, tell you what.
I'd say we're majorly football people. BJ's a basketball guy. We all love BYU basketball, but I'd say I'm getting buried in football, and then basketball shows up. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's a good time to be a BYU fan.
Isn't it the best time of year, though?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, when you got
a
basketball game every week, you got at least 2 basketball games every week, right? I mean,
women's soccer now.
And then we record on the off days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
2 a.m.
We'll get to talk it.
Fit it in.
We're recording right now at 2 a.m.
2 a.m.
That's
because
how excited we are about BYU.
Dedicated
And because
Cougars.
we love you, we didn't want you to go without an episode this week, and it's the only time we could do it. So, for you, our fans,
And we have this blue and white game that just happened, so we got to see him in action for the first time. So kind of exciting stuff coming down.
and for our international audience on the other side of the world, we wanted to give you a daytime viewing. So here we go. For those who are watching live,
All our New Zealand fans.
Still going to be posted in the middle of the night for you, but we're recording when you're awake.
For all of our, excuse me, for all our fans in New Zealand, we'll be talking some rugby here. One of these episodes soon. So.
I am also a rugby fan.
We are. Yeah, we love rugby.
Basketball and rugby.
So, all right, let's get to that blue and white game after we finally get to see the Cougars out on the court. Now, we were missing a few guys, but what's the feedback about this team? What are you guys' thoughts?
I think we are going to be just a menace on defense. We're long. The defensive intensity in that blue and white game, which is a game that could very easily, kind of have like all-star
Yeah, it
vibes.
could turn into an all-star game.
Yeah, where it's just like, okay, this is just kind of like a little exhibition game. It was intense the whole time, and I loved all of it.
The thing probably that stood out to me the most, more than anything else, at least that I loved, yes, we had those offensive weapons that we expected in AJ DeBansa. You saw Richie Saunders coming out there, opening up, taking shots, nailing threes. We had more offensive weapons than I even anticipated. But when you get kind of like you were leading to there, BJ, when you get so many offensive stars, it's like, okay, are they all going to be out there just trying to get their stats,
Right.
trying to take the ball, trying to take the shots for themselves? But the two things that stood out were they were sharing the ball, and most importantly, they were playing defense, tough defense, scrappy defense, so much so that in a blue and white scrimmage game, I was worried about guys getting injured out there. They're diving for balls. Then the length that they had to get out, where we struggled last year on those 3-point shots, which was exposed in that Alabama game, right? That killed us from 3 because we couldn't get out to defend the 3 and defend inside. We've got that length. We were getting out. There. Teams are going to really struggle. That thing that would take us from being, a Sweet 16 team, maybe getting into a Final 8, but being able to compete at the top of the conference with a Houston against that defense, I think we had it. I think we have it.
Something that's awesome about this BYU basketball team is that more than any time in the history of BYU basketball, we've got the big recruits. And it's always seemed like there's been an under-recruited player that overperforms at BYU, where it's like, oh, you found that diamond in the rough and you get the Jimmer Fredette's, even Richie Saunders. You get him and he kind of blooms into himself. This year, it's like, okay, we've got to make sure we have room for all the big time. Our 2 top recruits that we've ever had at BYU basketball, AJ DeBansa and Xavier Staten, right?
Staten, yeah.
Staten, yeah. He's our biggest recruit other than AJ, and he may have kind of got slid under the rug as far as how excited we are about him. I'm really excited after watching that game, some of his clips. I'm excited.
Oh, Xavier Staten blew me away.
Yeah.
Actually, I was super excited about Xavier because going into that, I thought, okay, another true freshman. Yeah, he's a 7-footer. That's great that we've got a backup center in Xavier Staten. But he was going up against Keba Keita in that game, who, Keba Keita is like
guy.
He might be my
linebacker
favorite
out there.
player.
Oh, I love him. I love him to death. But I thought Xavier Staten's going to get snapped in half. Xavier Staten was pressing up against him. Xavier Staten was absorbing those hits, but Xavier Staten, in his own right, was super impressive, especially out around the post, around the key, step out away. He had a nice touch on the ball. He was hitting his free throws. He was turning, making shots. The guy just has a beautiful touch on the ball. He can shoot.
Which to me is kind of crazy because I don't think at this point most people think he'll start. So you got that type of talent coming off the bench and many others. I think we have a nice deep team as well. And
I think we have 14 guys on this team by my count that could start at almost anywhere.
And that's what I was going to touch on too, is like having X on the bench is crazy. Yeah. And we are so deep, but we also distributed the ball, like you're saying. Yeah. And that was without Rob there. He was going to be our
Rob Wright was out injured.
Yeah, he was out. We had, I think,
but he looked good when he was out there. He was out warming up and stuff. He looked good. He was impressive.
I think he's fine.
His ball handling skills.
But,
we had four guys out.
Yeah,
I think I anticipated 4 guards, and Kozlowski was out. RG3. We had Perkins was out, and Dawson Baker.
Oh yeah,
Dawson Baker looks like he's leaned up. He's gotten in shape a little bit better too, and he was shooting lights out when he was out there warming up.
But the fact that we looked so deep, missing them, and the ball was moving around everywhere without our point guard was just awesome. Like I am excited for this team.
One thing that I love about especially AJ's outlook, AJ is going to be a top 3 pick. Barring some crazy something, he's going to be a top 3 pick. Right. He's here to win a championship.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that energy because he's talked about it in things I've listened to of him. He's like, I'm here to win a championship. I'm here to win a championship at BYU. He's not there to score 40 points a game. Yeah. He's not there to necessarily do that. He wants to win a championship. And so if that energy is spreading, it doesn't matter who's scoring. You're really there to win a championship. You're all going to you can all get signed in the pros. You can all do that if you're going to go win a championship.
Well, and AJ in particular he was passing the ball. I think he had 5 assists. Mm-hmm. He was moving the ball around. He was just taking whatever was best for the team to score. And man, he could take it every time.
It's going to be him a lot of the time. He
created his own shot whenever he wanted to, but he wasn't. He was passing off, making the best decision with that ball and playing defense. Playing tough defense.
He was finding ways to score when a shot wasn't falling too. Yeah. Like his jumper wasn't
he was off for a little bit.
Super great for a little while, but he was finding different ways to score, or he was distributing the ball, which is awesome. And I also love that it's not just AJ's team. It's just as much Richie's team. And I feel like that is the perfect thing, honestly, for AJ to have is, not just to have everything on him all at once.
As a true freshman.
Yeah. And I think it might become just as much Rob Wright's team.
Yeah.
Right? Or
exactly.
And I think it's...
But then you've got AJ, who I think is going to, just because of his status, demand people pay attention to him so much more that Richie is going to get more open shots. Everyone's going to get more open shots because they have to focus on AJ or they're going to be in big trouble. Right. So,
well, and do you remember, I think about a starting 5 for us. And what I mostly think about is every time Keba Keita is in the game, you're expecting a lob dunk. You have Keba Keita and AJ, and you can ditch it to Richie, and it's Rob Wright at the point guard.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Yeah, and then you got some guys that really stood out that blew me away in that game. Guys that I wasn't expecting to be as good as they are. I mean, you got Kennard Davis Jr., right? Moo is what they call him, right? And so that'll be fun. That'll be fun to hear him. His defense is amazing. But then you got guys like Kostic. This guy, I didn't know anything, Lexia Kostic, right? Who out of Austria, who they picked up, 5 weeks ago or something?
He looked good.
He was shooting lights out. He looked great. I could see him coming in and really replacing Nell, right? And kind of the capacity that he feels in off ball. His off ball shooting was lights out. And he was second highest scorer, I think, in the game, or at least I don't remember.
I think so.
Maybe third.
I think Richie
he was up
highest, and then
Kostic, right? And then you got Boscovich. Looks like he's improved over last year. He seemed to be able to create more open shots in his defense. And then Diamande, the guy's like a beast athletically.
Yeah.
And then the other guy that totally shocked me that I didn't expect at all was Mboop, right?
Yeah.
He was a guy that he maybe had the roughest looking shooting form, but man, talk about an athlete on defense. Guy was diving for balls. He was blocking shots. It was impressive. They were just all over, weapon after weapon after weapon on that team.
Like a little bit, and watching it was that the starters felt a little relaxed, and you could tell that the bench players were playing for time a little bit in that game, and so they were really hustling, which was just so fun to see.
It gives you a glimpse into how a practice might be.
Yeah,
with those guys, and you don't want anyone getting hurt, but also if you're one of the guys that's maybe on the outside of the rotation looking in, you're playing for your spot, and that's pushing the whole team. And everyone can play. So it's not like, okay, we have 4 guys that'll for sure start because no one can replace them. It's like, that's true. Everyone's replaceable.
I mean, Kevin Young, I think, proved last year that he's more than willing to just rotate.
Yeah.
Right? And have a 10, 11, 12 guy
who better to manage
every game.
Who better to manage that?
Yeah.
Well, he's got some managing to do because we have a tough schedule. I'm looking through that schedule.
Nebraska, UNC coming up. I mean, those are both exhibition games, but
yeah. And then the first one was Villanova, right?
First, regular season game, Villanova.
Well, I think Cougar Nation is ready for it. It looked like I was not able to make it, so maybe you have some thoughts on this, but it sure looked like you had the student section for a blue and white game that's going crazy, and I think there's so much excitement around this season.
Yeah. You could feel it in there. It was palpable. I mean, we thought the Marriott Center was rocking last year. I can't wait to go to these games. It's going to be crazy.
Like the energy when AJ came out in a BYU uniform for the first time, like officially.
Oh, they were going.
It really is crazy. Yeah. Like
who would have ever thought we would have?
He's consensus top 3. And could be top 1 very well.
Yeah.
Like clear cut.
Yeah.
And he just commits to BYU, comes to BYU for Kevin Young.
Right? The top high school recruit, the top transfer portal this last year. Now they just got the number 1 JC recruit in the nation. Yeah. Impressive.
Things are
what a hire.
How do you get any
what a
better
hire.
than that, right?
Well, one thing that I don't remember where I saw it, but it was talking about how BYU is like the perfect environment because there's less distractions, because there's not parties, there's, less of that it is basically just like a business of getting you into the NBA. And I think that's what KY has set it up to be too.
Yeah. And I think that's what he sells, right?
Yeah,
that's what he's.
And football's following right. So it takes a little bit longer with football, but yeah, for so many years, it was always portrayed that the honor code coming to BYU, that was a negative, right? It was like, oh yeah, but if you get in, you got to live by these rules. So it's hard to recruit for BYU to recruit. Inside BYU, I think a lot of coaches felt like, well, that's a negative. We'll never be able to recruit like other schools. It's changed now that BYU is competing on a level playing field at a P4 level, at the top levels of basketball and football, and NIL has really, I think, contributed because BYU is in a position to take advantage of it. And suddenly it's flipped the tables where guys who are looking to stay focused, guys who don't want all the distractions at going into college, that are really looking at, hey, I want to go into the pros to the next level, or I want to just really focus on my craft as an athlete, are like, man, this is a positive. If they can come to BYU with coaches who are like Kevin Young and putting together a program like Kalani Sitake, it's a huge advantage for BYU now, and it's an awesome thing.
So I've got some friends over at Utah's Has Been Hoopers. It's a podcast as well. Leaf Tulane does a lot of work with David Locke for the Jazz as well. Spencer Jones, Harrison Career, they do a really good job with their Jazz podcast. And that makes me think about you see Ryan Smith, Danny Ainge, they're super involved with BYU basketball.
Yeah.
And I saw a video of some of the young Jazz players that went and watched a BYU practice, and they were talking about, I mean, they're like, one clip was Keontae George, Jazz point guard, saying, "What a dunk by AJ." Like, I've never seen, like, it's the way he flies.
Yeah.
And he said something like, yeah, we could use that, or like, we would love that, or something like that. Like, I wonder if that connection with the Jazz guys and kind of having it be like, okay, go to BYU, you're down the street from Salt Lake, you head down there, you go see the Jazz play. It's kind of like a connection there with Ryan Smith, Danny Ainge. I mean, two of the greatest in front office NBA basketball.
Yeah.
Well, Danny Ainge was right there. He was just sitting down from me at that blue and white game. I mean, you could tell he knew those players. He was all in. They knew he was sitting there.
Yeah.
You know,
And then
watching them.
all of Kevin Young's connections. You hear him
yeah.
tell
Oh, yeah.
stories
I
about
mean,
getting, you know,
Yeah, Chris
players.
Paul to fly out, or like, yeah, it's pretty.
And this is crazy. Like, I remember when we first joined the Big 12, I thought, oh man, we're in for some rough years in basketball.
It's
Like,
going
I
to take a
thought
while.
we could maybe hang football wise, but I was like, basketball, we are not on the Big 12 level. And here we are,
Yeah.
like potentially the best team in the Big 12.
And all we had to do was get rid of one of the best coaches in college basketball and replace him with Kevin Young.
Yeah.
Right?
Which is crazy.
Pope was a great coach.
And Pope will
No
do
doubt. And he was
great.
known for his
He is.
recruiting.
He'll keep
Yeah.
doing
Right, but
well at
Kevin Young
Kentucky.
was just taking it to
When we had
Yeah.
Pope, I was like, oh wow, recruiting stepped up.
Well, I
so
think it was.
much.
I
And
think it
then
was a
it's
vision
just-
change coming from the pros and the connections that he had.
Yeah.
That hey, I can turn this into something that
Into
I don't know that Pope
an NBA
saw that we
factory.
could turn this into an NBA factory.
Yeah.
he saw that in Kentucky, and I think that's why he went there.
Well, it's kind of like
besides he
in
loves
football,
Kentucky,
how
but-
we became a quarterback factory for the NFL. We're doing that now with basketball.
From what I understand, is Kevin Young basically was the top of a lot of NBA teams to be their next head coach.
Yeah.
And he chose a family life. He wanted to be around for his kids, kind of be in more of a stable environment. We have an NBA
And kudos
head
to
coach.
his wife because I heard she had a lot to do with that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, and keep it up.
Sister Young, we appreciate you.
Yeah, Sister Young.
The true heroes behind.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's exciting. I mean, we're in the thick of being excited for BYU football right now. BYU basketball is going to be a blast.
Yeah.
It's going to be a blast.
Could this be the year that BYU football makes the playoff and BYU basketball wins a national championship?
Could be.
What if we got it? What?
Grab those blue goggles.
Okay. I'm not going to say it because
There's
I have
always
to
a
wear the
chance.
blue goggles, but I don't know. Good things are happening.
Good things are
Good things
brewing
are
in
happening.
Provo, and we're happy about it.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be really tough. The Big 12 this year, top to bottom, is going to be pretty intense.
Yeah.
Starting in January.
Well, and it's pretty great to even be on the list going to these invitationals, right? When has that happened for BYU? This is awesome.
Yeah. If we did, we were a throw-in team, and now maybe these guys will win it. So it's exciting. Go
Good
Cougs.
time to be a Cougar.
Yep.
All right. Well, I think that's a wrap for this evening. We appreciate you watching. Please subscribe, like us. We do appreciate it. It really, really helps us out. And we want to thank, of course, Beehive Broadcast for being our producer, making this all happen. And our sponsor, The Scriptures Are Real. Check them out with Dr. Carrie Muhlestein. If you love the Scriptures, and we hope you do as much as we do, you'll want to make sure you hop on that. And we'll see you at the Utah BYU game this Saturday. All in on blue. Thanks for watching.